Way. I want to remind you, as a courtesy to fellow media members as well as the coaches and student athletes, please silence your phones. And when we get to the question and answer period, please give us your name and media affiliation each time and to whom you're asking the questions. And we do not allow recording a press conference on your cell phones in here. And if you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. We'll address questions in the room first and take questions from Zoom as time permits. Once again, we'll start with a statement from Dave and then open it up for questions for the student athletes.
Well, kind of in line with the rest of the first two ball games, it was a good ball game with a thrilling finish. It didn't go our way this time, but I thought it was a great ball game against two really good clubs, and the level of game was really high. And you know what? I told our team at the end, I mean, if we break it down to the smallest level, they got two guys on, they got a bunt down and a base hit, right? So they executed in order to win that ball game. And so you gotta give them credit for doing that. We had plenty of opportunities throughout the day with runners in scoring position. Could have got that same hit and widened the gap or extended a lead, and just weren't able to do that a lot because of the good pitching that they provided. Joey did an outstanding job getting us started. You know, got us started for the first four, handed it off to Drew Dowd, and you know, I guess they played a way better 2 1/3 innings than we did there at the end after the break. And so my hat's off to Wake Forest. You know, to beat the number one team in the country, you're gonna have to play a pretty flawless game. And we kicked a couple opportunities early in the game, but we'll come back. We'll learn from that and be ready to go next game.
Okay, let's open it up for questions for the student athletes now. Raise your hand. We'll get a hand mic to you, and again, give us your name and affiliation. First questions for the student athletes, please. Okay, right here in the back, Tina.
Mike Fearon from SiriusXM. Joey, it's one of the top offenses in the country. How were you able to keep them off balance?
I think it was just mixing early. You know, I think they were looking fastball early, throwing a lot of changeups, a lot of curveballs, and just keeping them off balance. Throwing anything in any count really helped.
Okay, up here.
Hi, Ron Korchak from the San Francisco Chronicle. Carter, what was that break like? Did it sort of, I don't say momentum, but how much did that disrupt the rhythm of the game, and how hard was it to get going again afterward?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't want to point the finger at any delay or any single play. We tried to keep our momentum and keep our rhythm, stayed loose. We were playing hacky sack in the locker room, just trying to stay together and have a good time, because that's what we're here to do.
Okay, next question. Here, Evan.
Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald. For either one of you guys, I mean, you guys have fought back from elimination games in both the rounds to get to this point. What is it about this team that seems like you guys rise up when your backs are against the wall?
Joey, you start.
You know, I think it's just us playing together collectively, knowing we have guys to do it. It's the same game, whether it's an elimination game or not. You should still try to have as much fun. And we got a guy, Quinn Matthews, coming tomorrow, so I like our chances.
Yeah, I mean, just like Joey said, I mean, we have a really balanced team. We really believe in each other. And like Esky said, they got the big hit tonight, but we have guys all up and down our lineup who have been getting that hit all year, so we believe in it.
Okay, in the back here, Brendan.
Brendan Prizeman, Omaha World Herald. Joey, this is for you. You mentioned Quinn coming tomorrow, obviously, but what does it mean to you that you were trusted with the start today? And not only that, but you were able to go out there and hold one of the better offenses in the country to such a low output.
Yeah, I think there was plenty of guys on our roster that were able to do that. If you would have given Drew Dowd the ball, inning one, I think he could have given you just as many innings or outs that we had today. And I think we have a lot of guys that can do that for sure.
Okay, Jake. Here.
Jake McKeever, College Baseball Central. This question's for Carter. Threw a ton of pitches in that first inning, fouled a ton off. What was kind of y'all's approach there from the start?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we went into this game knowing we're facing a dude. I mean, Lauder's a great pitcher and had a great year, so our goal was kind of just nameless and faceless. We're going to get in there and we're going to get our best swing off on a pitch that's over the plate, and it doesn't matter who they throw or what they can do, and that's what we did.
Okay. Once again, Ron.
Carter, kind of expanding on the earlier question about elimination games. You guys won 5-0 this year. I think you won 5 last year.
Yeah.
Does it feel, when you're in an elimination game, what's the vibe? Does it feel more urgent, or why do you think in those situations you guys produce so well?
Yeah, I think we do a really good job with our backs against the wall of just not forgetting that it's the same game we've been playing all year. I mean, I think a mistake in those games is to think you have to do more or to try harder and worry about failure. I think that we trust our guys up and down the lineup, the Alberto Rioses and those people who have been getting the big hit all year. They just come together and do it.
Okay, any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, Brendan, this will be our last one for the guys.
This is for both of you guys. Both of you guys have been on the rosters for now 3 consecutive College World Series. Carter, I know you just mentioned not trying to do anything special with this, but is there anything in particular that you guys have learned now that this is your 3rd time in Omaha that you try and bring a little extra to the ballpark?
Carter.
Yeah, I think that, Esky says it best. I think that we just try and stay as long as we can. I think that if we can fight together and scratch a couple elimination wins and hang here long enough, I think we can get our rhythm and get hot and really surprise a lot of people.
Joey?
I think you said it best. Kind of just sticking the course, just playing the same game.
Okay, guys, thank you. We'll excuse you too, and we'll open it up for questions for Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Okay, first question for Dave. Eric?
Eric Sorensen, D1 Baseball. Dave, just going into this game, knowing you're going against a pitcher like that, and it seemed like early on you guys were taking some early swings. Was that kind of the game plan as far as like kind of attacking before he got deep into counts?
Yeah, we wanted to be aggressive for sure, and kind of use the middle of the diamond, just kind of hold that line to the middle because he's got such good off-speed stuff as well. So it would keep us on that if we were out front. And then we got some plus counts and got some base runners on, and just looking for that hit to kind of extend. And I think we jumped on him early, got his pitch count up, and was able to get him out of there in 5 1/3, which was if we get to the pen some, who knows what could happen if we extended some of the relief pitchers.
Okay, next question. Okay.
Matty Marinas, White and Blue Review. With Joey's outing, we saw a lot of called strikes, a lot of whiffs, not much contact, even with foul balls. What do you think he was able to do today against that lineup to just, I guess, keep them a little bit hesitant?
Yeah, with that line, there's very little margin for error. Like you've got to be able to tunnel your pitches, and you've got a small narrow window that you got to put the baseball, otherwise they can hurt you. And he missed out over the plate to. I believe it was Wilkin, and he made him pay for that. But that was just, from trying to go middle away to a little bit middle in. So I thought Joey did a really good job of spotting up not only his fastball but his breaking pitches as well. Because again, you've got a small window that if you miss out over the plate, they're a great offense, and their numbers prove that. And he did a great job just with pitch mix and keeping him off balance. His off-speed stuff was really good today. I thought Drew came in and did a nice job as well. And we held the lead going in, with an out in the 8th, and they got a big Corona with the big hit, but they got a bunt down too. So give them credit for executing and winning that ball game.
Ron?
Dave, what's sort of the emotional impact of losing that way, to be up most of the game and then up through an hour and a half rain delay? I mean, in real time, you guys were ahead for 3 hours, and then to lose sort of suddenly, is there any impact of that? Is it sort of jarring at all for your players?
That's a good way to think about it. We're only behind for about 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah. I want to check what the time of game was, because you're right. Yeah, it hurts no matter what. You come this far and you play with your guys, and that's what I really appreciate about our team. I think when people ask about why we're so good at elimination games is I think a lot has to do with the culture of our program. They don't want to give that jersey up, right? They don't want it to be the last day they spend with their teammates. And so I think they fight harder knowing that's a possibility. And I think that's kind of hats off to the brotherhood and the culture that our program has.
Okay, Matt.
Coach, Matt Talverney from World Baseball Network. Joey just gave up one mistake today to Brock Wilken in the second inning, and nonetheless, he pitched really good to keep you guys in it. What's it going to take for you guys on Monday just to eat up some innings out of Quinn Matthews out of his last 156 pitch performance?
Yeah, it's going to obviously giving Quinn that extra day, and we'll see what we hope he can bring us, get us into the 6th or 7th inning, and then we're going to have to rustle up some magic in the back end of that bullpen, which has been a little bit of just of a mix and a match. And it's going to be it very well could be Quinn's last outing, and I know he'll want to give us his best. And we're going to face a good lineup, no matter who that is, whether it's LSU or Tennessee. It's going to be a really good lineup and a big challenge for us. So I'm glad that Quinn's going for us, and I'm looking forward to seeing him give us another great outing.
Mike, we're going to run out of time here in a moment, guys. So,
sorry. I guess what did you see from Sullivan with his pickoff throws when he came in the game? He got 2 off first base.
Yeah,
seemed like those were
crazy. I didn't see anything special. I think we did more wrong than he did right. One of those things that we're going to have to learn. You make that mistake, and you just learn. I was teasing our coaches at the break that this gives us an opportunity to learn what we need to be on top of in the future. Maybe we don't hit as much. Maybe we work on our base running more than our hitting next year, I guess. But yeah, not in a situation either one of those. None of them are running. It's just a secondary lead, and we should have been safe getting back. I mean, if we stuck to our fundamentals, we shouldn't have been picked off there. But in a big game with the game moving fast, sometimes you lose your fundamentals.
Okay, we're going to have to drop it there, Dave.
Okay.
We'll see you
All right.
on Monday. Thank you.
Probably for a minute. Okay. Yeah. So look at the door. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Okay, once again, if you're just in here, please turn off your cell phones or at least silence them. And a reminder to please give your name and affiliation each time you ask a question, and we get to the players to whom you're asking the question. And please, no video recording on your cell phones in here. And if you folks are joining on Zoom, please use the raised hand function for questions. We'll address questions in the room first and then take questions from Zoom as time permits. Okay, once again, we'll start with a comment from Coach, and then we'll open it up for questions for the student athletes. Tom, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. We've had some excitement in these 3 games so far in this tournament. It's a great win for our team. I'm just really proud of our guys. I told them after the game, if you're going to have a chance to win this game, you probably need to win a game where you don't play very well. And I felt like we were tight early and nervous, and kind of got out of our plan offensively. Didn't have great at-bats really for the first 7 innings. And give credit to the Stanford pitching. Dixon and Dow did a great job and kind of held us at bay. But, did just enough. Rhett Lauder didn't have his great stuff. He's been battling, a little virus here for the last couple of days and didn't have his good stuff. But he pitched into the 6th and gave us a chance to win like he always does. And I was really proud of the way he battled. Obviously, Brock getting us on the board with the big homer on the 3-1 pitch in the 2nd. And then Danny Corona, what can I say about his at-bat other than just clutch in that situation? I thought it was a great timeout by Bill Salento, kind of pull Danny down there, kind of calm the moment down, get him back on the top half of the ball and get him in the middle of the field there. And then our bullpen, Sully and Keener did what they've done really for us all year, and Cam comes in and just makes pitch after pitch, and we get the big double play ball to end it. So great team win, really proud of the guys.
Okay, we'll open up for questions for the student athletes, and I see Evan first.
Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald. For any of the players, what did the rain delay maybe do to clear some minds and reset you guys for the push there late?
Yeah, I think we always have this saying that anything that like goes wrong or anything, we just say good. So we were all just saying good when that happens. It gave us a chance to reset, and we said in the locker room, whoever wins the rain delay is probably going to come out on top. And I think that we got back focused and got some energy going, and I think that worked in our favor. I think we won the rain delay.
Yeah, Russ said it very well. You know, we call ourselves the king of the delay. Every time we have a delay, we come out with so much energy, and our vibe is immediately switched. And for us to come out there like that, it's probably something that wasn't expected from the other side. And that's what great teams do during delays.
Danny, you want to comment?
Yeah, I was gonna say we got to get loose, play some card games, play some hacky sack, got the music bumping, and it got us right.
Okay, Essex.
Essex there, blogger So Dear. Rhett, in those early innings where, especially in the first where it wasn't coming easy, what were you seeing and feeling while you were out on the mound?
Yeah, I kind of just had to slow the game down. It was speeding up on me a little bit. Just had to keep making pitch after pitch. Nothing crazy. I feel like I've been in some situations like that before where I don't have my stuff, and I kind of just had to find a way to get out and keep us in the game. Nothing too crazy.
Okay, we'll go right here.
Les Johns, Demon Deacon Digest. Danny, what were you seeing on the pitch you drove up through the middle, and then what kind of guidance did you get from Coach Salento?
Yeah, so earlier in that bat, when I chased out of the zone, I was looking for something up. I told Billy that, and he told me with that pitch, I actually should be looking down. So once I saw it go down in the zone, I was just looking for something to drive up the middle. So,
okay, Mike.
Mike LaPresti, NCAA.com. For any of you, not that history is big on your radar screen right now, but you just won a game, and Wake Forest hadn't done that in 68 years here. Is there a meaning to that for you? Is there a satisfaction to it?
Yeah, there definitely is. It means a lot to us to, one, be here, and to, two, win a game. Not too many people get to even be in this situation, so we're super grateful for our opportunity to even come here and get to play on this field with a bunch of great other talent surrounded behind us. But history is not on our radar screen. We're looking forward to the next day we play and in the future.
Rhett?
Yeah, I mean, Brock kind of covered it all. I'm just thinking any win in Omaha is a good day, so it doesn't really matter what the history says.
Danny?
I don't really got much to add to that. They hit on the nail.
Okay. Yeah, Mike.
Matt Towering from World Baseball Network. This question is for Brock. Brock, how does it feel to break J.D. Drew's record set from 1997 when he was at FSU, and now you're on top of the Atlantic Coast Conference home run record?
Yeah, it's pretty special. First off, I wouldn't be able to do it without these guys next to me, and they've given me all the confidence in the world. Over the past 3 years, they've just surrounded me with love and confidence to be able to go out there and be me. So I'm very grateful for these guys and just allowing me to go out there and put this uniform on every day. It's super special. I never thought I'd be able to be in this situation. Those words are kind of crazy to hear, but job's not done. We got a couple more ball games to win.
Okay, let's go, Jake here.
Jake McKeever, College Baseball Central. Brock, you had the walk in the last inning. What were you kind of seeing with your approach there? You obviously let off a few close ones.
Yeah, that was a really good pitcher. I was just trying to see something down in the zone, like Danny said. Try to see something down. He was kind of living up, and he was kind of scattering it. So I knew I had to see the right pitch at the right time. He threw a couple good pitches that I just missed, and just try to get on base and pass it to JJ, do his job, and JJ did his job, and then Danny does his job and wins us the game.
Okay, Les.
this is kind of for all three of you guys, especially the batters. Outscored your opponents by 59 runs combined in the regional and super regional. Fell behind for the first time the entire tournament today. Did the pressure start to pile up on this? How did you guys approach and kind of dig out of that?
Danny, you start.
I don't think the pressure got to us. I think we missed some opportunities. They made some nice plays, but we knew our time would come later on in the game. Just don't let it get to you.
Brock?
Yeah, we didn't press too much. There was definitely some times where you could see us tense up a little bit, and I think that rain delay really helped us. That was at the right moment, the right time for us to kind of get back into our groove. Right after that, you see our bats started to get much better. We started grinding at bats. We started seeing much better pitches to swing at, and from then on, we just knew that the game was in our hands.
Okay, right here in the middle. Yeah.
Connor O'Neill with Deacons Illustrated. Danny, you started the year in the lineup, were out of the lineup for a while there, and then you've come back. I think 19 RBI in the last 5 games is the count that I had. What's led you to this process to where you're swinging the hot bat?
I think just sticking to my approach, trying not to chase too much out of the zone and knowing what pitches I could drive.
Okay, right up here.
Samantha Casano with Local 3 in Chattanooga. Danny, I know you're a Baylor alum, and so is Nick Kurtz. How special was that moment for you to play him to put you guys on top?
It was a very special moment. Nick and I would joke about it our junior year of high school, talking about we can't wait to be in Omaha. And since we've been here, it's been nothing but the best. It's been a crazy experience.
Okay, we'll have time for one more question. If everybody wants to take it. Yeah, right in the back.
Jack DeLongchamp with Foul Pole. Question for you guys. You guys have done it with the long ball all year long, but how huge was the small ball stuff, that big-time sacrifice bunt from Justin Johnson, to really show everybody here in the tournament that you guys can win games in a lot of different ways?
Brock?
Yeah, that just shows you how versatile we are. You know, we can beat you in so many different ways. When we need to get a job done, we're going to do the job. No matter who it is in our lineup, whether it's a bunt, whether it's a long ball, whether it's a laser up the middle, whatever it may be, we have so many ways that we can win.
Danny?
Yeah, I think during BP we kind of saw the wind was blowing in. It wasn't as easy to hit it out the yard today. So Brock obviously did it, but I think going into the game, we knew we had to stay hard and low, like Coach says, and it worked out.
Okay, guys, we'll excuse you and then open up for questions for Coach here in a moment. Thanks. See you Monday night. Night game.
Good. I like the sound of that.
Yeah. Okay, questions? We'll start with Mike back here.
Mike LaPresti, NCAA.com. When the Kings of the delay are in the locker room for 90 minutes, what are you hoping they do? I mean, did you want them to think about the game? Do you want them to hear wild card games and hear loud music? What goes on there?
Yeah, we spent the first 5 minutes just talking about some situational things and what we needed to do when we came out of the delay. And then at the end of that, we just talked about winning the delay. Let's win the delay. Let's have better energy than them coming out of this. And whatever you need to do to cool down, relax, hydrate. Because, again, we didn't know if it was going to be 30 minutes or 2 hours. So it's just kind of one of those things that, we were on notice and just, catch your breath and let's get back to work.
Okay, Essex.
Essex there, Blogger Show Deer. Walt, what was the moment when did you tell Seth Keener you're going to go to him?
Well, when it went to that second delay. If it had just gone the first 30 minutes, we would have gone back to Sully, and Sully was ready to go. But then once it got beyond that, we just didn't feel good about Sully there. So we looked at the matchup sheet. We considered Roland. He was a good matchup for the hitter's ed coming up. We considered Massey. He wasn't quite as good a matchup. And then Keener, Will Craig was actually the first person to mention. He was like, what about Keener? And then the more we looked at who was coming up in the matchups, the more Keener really made sense. Plus, again, if he's going to start on Wednesday for us or whenever we play after this one, it's good to kind of get him out there and let him get his feet wet before his start.
Okay, we'll go over here with Connor.
Yeah, Connor O'Neill, Deacons Illustrated. Walt, going to what I asked Danny, what's been his process to kind of keep him engaged when he wasn't in the lineup as much, and then what have you seen from him in the last 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's really been, it's kind of an interesting case study because as soon as he Danny spent a better part of the year kind of maybe feeling a little sorry for himself, quite honestly. And then once he got past that and then just got back to work, because we know he can hit, and we knew that our best lineup would be with him in it, but we had to get him past that. We had to get him kind of past himself and get him out of his own way. And then as soon as he really made that mental flip, he's been our guy. And again, he came up to me and thanked me for leaving him in against that lefty, and I was like, man, we wanted you in there. Like, I wouldn't want anybody else in there. I mean, you're our guy right now, and you've earned that at bat. So really, really proud of him.
To get him past the feeling sorry for himself, is it more tough love with him, or is it more loving him up?
Well, it was a little bit of both. It was a little bit of tough love. It was a little bit of loving him up, and then it was a little bit of, hey, you need to make it. Mostly, it was just you need to make a decision. Like, you need to decide what you want out of this season and what you want out of your career. If you want to play Major League Baseball, it's going to be hard along the way, and you've got to be able to kind of push through that and persevere. And again, he's done that, and again, he's going to be our guy the rest of the year.
Hey, Mike.
Patty Marinas, White and Blue Review, with Sean Sullivan coming in there, getting 2 pickoffs. What'd you see from his decision making, his execution there, and how big in your mind were those moments?
Well, they were huge. First of all, they saved his pitch count, so Sully will be available on Monday, which is great, and obviously save potential runs as well. So. And I give credit to Moose. I mean, those calls come from the dugout, and Corey Mascara, they like to vault. Stanford likes to vault at first base. So, we have a catcher control pick where the catcher drops his glove, and he just waits for the guy to vault and drops his glove. And Bennett Lee executed. Moose called it perfectly, and Bennett Lee executed it perfectly.
Take up here last.
Coach, what did you think of the way you guys responded defensively? And I know it was quick, but you had the error, with one out in the top of the ninth. That's the type of thing that in that situation, in this field, in this tournament, could have gotten away from a team, but instead they stayed with it, got that big double play to get out of it.
Yeah, I was really proud of the way Cam Manassi threw the ball. There were a couple pitches that I thought could have went his way and didn't, and he didn't let it phase him at all. Then there was that error kind of in behind that. It didn't let him phase it at all. He makes a great breaking ball pitch on a really good hitter, and we get into it. And again, anytime we feel like the ball's hit to JJ or Merrick, we're gonna get out. So, I was the person who made the difference was Cam Manassi, because he didn't get ruffled at all and just kept making pitches.
Okay, Evan.
Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald. Coach, what's the added value in winning the way that you did when you only led for maybe 5 or 10 minutes of the game, as opposed to kind of your postseason path to this point?
Yeah, you have to win games in different ways. Again, the first 2 runs we gave up were, runs that, kind of free 90s. We had a walk and a hit by pitch that led to the first run. We had a balk that led to the second run. Probably played a little too deep early in the game. We didn't make that adjustment soon enough, and that's on me. Not to get our outfielders in a little more. We probably should have made that adjustment in the second. So we had some things go against us, and that we could have done a better job on that cost us the first 2 runs. But, again, our pitching staff did what it does. It keeps us in games and gives us a chance to win. And there were opportunities for Stanford to spread the lead, and if they get it to 4-1 or 5-1, then it's a totally different ball game.
Okay, any more questions for Tom? If not, congratulations, and we'll see you Monday night.
Monday night. I like the sound of that.